Hi, this is Bosch PowerTube 500 battery pack, and this unit had an internal fault. There was a chip which was burnt, and it is now replaced. Hard to show, but now the battery gives me 2 LEDs, and it means that it needs to be kinda programmed with Bosch diagnostic systems or something to get the battery brain to think the battery is good again. And if I am not wrong, nobody are not doing that because it is somehow not allowed. So main reason for today's video is kind of follow up, because I have been earlier taken apart similar battery and tried to fix the BMS, but it was kinda near impossible task because the chips were burned, and also if I manage to repair the BMS, it will still remain the briquette because the BMS mainboard controller. So we are now trying to take the whole pack apart and try to get answer for the question, is the power pack even resellable? That can you change the cells in the pack if they are bad, if you can somehow override the BMS software lock. But first let's try to figure out the mechanical part of the construction. And Bosch have used the wheel splines to hold the battery pack together. So now we can try, can we open it? Or at least, if you can't change the cells to battery, then another reason for this job might be to salvage the working cells of the battery pack, because the pack contains plenty of nice quality lithium ion cells, what in some cases may be valuable things to try recover from briquette battery. Of course, the best option would be that you could somehow reprogram in the communication port to BMS to get working again, but I think there is still no luck for that kind of job. So yeah. But let's see what we have here. How bad it might be. And this flappy PC port here is controlling the balancing of the cells. I don't know, is it standalone circuit or is it controlled with the Bosch main BMS board, but oh, they are loose. They have been spot welded, the plates to battery terminals. So if you want, you can just rip off that balancing ribbon and put some off-the-shelf balancing BMS controller in the battery pack. You just solder them to the tabs and rewire. Ooh. But what I have been seeing now is that if you want, you can rip the flex cable off and solder the pads, or weld if you have a spot welder. So I think the cells are perhaps changeable, but of course you have to be really careful. When working high energy batteries, there is no electric shock hazard in these kind of devices, but if you short circuit something, then there is that risk of fire, and it is not funny. But yeah, the flex is really easy to remove, and there we can see the balancing resistors and the transistors. And if you are curious enough, you can check the data sheet from that. And I'm guessing or betting that that will be some kind of balancing control module thing. And there is not much to see in this part. And the other side have some cabling going there. Really surprisingly easy construction, I would say, so far. There is spot weld, 2 nickel strips just spot welded together. They can be separated if I get my knife there. Little tough, but let's still do it like that. There was insulation. Oh, surprisingly easy. And if you think it on the factory side, this kind of construction might be superior cheap to put together because of modularity of the system. Yeah, one more, and we have packs separated. Yeah. Oh, really kinda cool design. And here we can see the construction. Of the battery, or I don't know is the construction right word, but there is 4 cells in parallel, these 4, and if we flip over, they will be here, and they are connected with these 4, and if we again flip over, it will be here, which is connected to that, and that positive lead went over to here, to these positive leads. And there is again 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Yeah. So there is that one too, where the wire goes. Whoop. I lost my way. There, 2 cells, they are parallel with these ones. And then we have a 4, and again 4 and 4. So the Bosch battery pack is kinda really capable to put output current. If one cell can deliver, I don't know, if we take the back footer, then we can see the cells, what these are. But let's say example 10 amps per cell, and because they are 4 in the parallel, it will have a 14 amperes to discharge current. And it is kinda a lot. But let's finish that part. Let's take the rest of pack to parts and see how we are going to dismount the cells. Really nice. Of course I could use the cells just like that. Just pulled the back with these guys. Or then just take the all cells out and test them separately and then decide what to do with the cells. But not now. Rest of the job should be really straightforward. We just take the appliers and we grab the nickel stripes and wiggle them out. The spot welds will give up when you apply some force to them. But you must be patient and careful, because sometimes the spot welds are so deep that you will break the end cap of the cell. There is little bit pressure inside of the cell, and it will smell like a shit when the vapors get out of the cell. And of course the cell is really much usable after that, if you do the hole to the cell. So you have to be gentle and the patient same time. And I know it sounds a little bit weird, but you get the point. You got the point. not hard. Just try to not do any short circuits when you are ripping the spot welds off. And these spot welds are giving up really nicely. Something good is done from the factory who made these cells and packs to Bosch. I don't think they are putting these together in own factory. And the last one. Oh. Yeah, one side done. Now the other end. Or we can try to cheat if the plastic caps are giving up like that. We can have kind of free cells like that, and sometimes they are easier to take apart with just hand. Of course, if you are planning to use all the nickel bands and your main goal is to replace the bad cells, then you of course want to be more gentle, that you have less to fix. Yeah, there we have 4, and if you are curious to see, they are they are LG. I thought they might be Samsung, but they are LG. And there is the number where you can find the data sheet for the cell. And if we want to multitask, then we will be putting these cells to charger. Meanwhile we are taking the another packs. There is my chargers. Cheap Chinese goodies. Like that. And these are these kind of smart chargers. They will do a lot of things with the cells. They will show the voltage and they are so low. They might be too low. I'm not sure if they are able to wake up, but let's select the all slots and put the lowest possible. It won't give me less than half amp because the voltage is so low. Let's do the resistance test first. Those are kind of high and these are kind of too, but we can check that part again when we have been charged them a little bit more. Let's say half amp charging rate, and now the charger shows the current what is charging at the moment, or we can see the cell voltages all pretty low. Then we can see the charged milliamperes and time. Let's let them to here to be charged. Of course we have to monitor them all the time. Now because the voltages are so low, there is some kind of thumb of rule that below 1 volt is basically dead cell. But let's see what the cells are talking when they have been charged a little bit. But if you want to do something like that, you really much need the smart charger where you can monitor the voltages and adjust the charging rates and measure the internal resistance. Because if you want to build the pack, you have to try kind of match the cells. Example, these 4, when they are installed in the pack, they should be constant output capabilities of power, and of course capacity, that every cell will have same amount of milliampere hours to discharge, and that internal resistance should be pretty much matched or really close each other. Otherwise the pack don't perform like you want to. Because of course if you have 3 good cells and 1 bad, then the 3 good cells will discharge them the same level what is that 1 bad cell. So it kinda ruins your day. Same thing happens if you put your remote controller to TV, just 1 new battery. If you don't have 2, it will work little time, but really little time. Then the good battery will drain itself to same level with that bad one. And then you start thinking that maybe it would be better to do the both battery at the same time. Let's see what these cells say when we put them to the charger. Really constant reading, 0.4. So I think the balancing circuit has done its job. Almost all the cells have been same voltage level, but way too low. Yeah, charge, and let's put them there away. And yeah, I don't know, is there anything else interesting to see here? We could do same thing to this pack and this and this, but I am betting that nobody aren't willing to watch that kind of content, so let's end it here. But back in the question, can you resell the back? I think yes. In the mechanically, you can take it apart, swap the bad cells, and of course when it is like that condition, you may want to test every 4 cell group independently, what capacity there are and that ESR, to terminate that what is the base value of nominal capacity of the cells. Then you can notice the difference if there is some cell groups what are way much lower the capacity compared to another ones. But if you do it, if you take a pack apart like that, then the brains of the battery will break. And so far there is maybe handful dudes what have been able to get around that software lock. Yeah, but I think it is enough for this video. If you get the PowerTubes really cheaply, because they are bricked, they are usually sold maybe 15 euros or 18. You can almost guarantee that the problem is the battery BMS board. So how many cells they are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cells per unit. So you basically got 14 cells with that example of 15 euros. It is little bit over 1 euro per cell. So I think it is kind of cheap price for the cells. Or then you can pop the battery open and put the off-the-shelf battery balancer BMS module inside of it and get rid of that flexy thingy. Or I was thinking that maybe you can leave that attached to battery even without the BMS board. Because if this work totally standalone without BMS, then basically your BMS is here, the main thing which handles the balancing of the cells. Then you just have to put the new some kind of charger inside of the pack, what limits the lowest voltage cutout when the battery is not anymore giving power out, and that highest amount voltage when the battery disconnects it from the voltage source, that cells are not overcharging. It is kind of interesting topic. I think I have to check if all the cells is same voltage level. Then I could assume that my theory is right. Let's try a little bit. No. There's 3 volts. 2.4. Half a volt. These are not perfectly balanced anymore. Yeah. So that thing is not working alone. So you need the whole thing if you want to reuse the pack itself and change the brains inside of it. But I have few of spares because I have bought them couple when trying to fix that one. So that pack I will rip of all the cells, just to make sure that cells are good, and then I shall reuse the cells and build battery pack for something. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching this episode, and if you are following these steps, please be careful. Don't burn your house. You have to be careful when working the lithium ion cells. But tiny last spoiler alert. There is that funny end cap in here. Camera is not focusing, but these kind of cells has that notch on the top of the shell. It is not top of the shell, it is what is called the cell protection circuit there. So if you are trying to make shortcut to the cell is getting really hot and the gas is expanding inside the cell, popping out the overpressure valve inside the cell top part, and it is then disconnecting itself totally from the internal things on the cell. So even you make a shortcut, these kind of cells should not explode in your table or put anything on the fire, because the cells are protected if they are that kind of cells. But still, you have to be careful. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Hi, this will be kind of follow-up for the follow-up, and there are the cells what I extracted from the Bosch battery pack, and the internal resistance was really constant, and I think there are few which are kind of a little bit high, but I think it is only measurement error, because those what is tested a little bit high is some kind of leftovers from the spot welds on the end, so maybe the connection isn't be perfect in these cases, but all cells working, and if you can get the briquette Bosch PowerTube battery cheap, maybe under 15 euros, it is worth to extract the cells, because the cells was priced at about 4 euros per cell if you buy new ones, so it is kind of great deal, even if you are not able to fix the BMS. And talking about the BMS, there is that end cap with the output port and the communication lines, and there is the BMS, and I can post a link about the BMS thing to GitHub, because Bosch has been done something really annoying here. There is some kind of handshake protocol when you are trying to power up the bike. The bike is communicating to battery, and the battery is responding something, and I think it is fucked up situation what is still unhacked, that you cannot put any another BMS inside the empty battery shell. Example here is that one which is bricked. Because if you put a new BMS what is not communicating to CAN bus with the bike, so I assume the bike won't start up at all. But of course you can use the battery pack with some else project. If you change the BMS with the generic one, you still have a nice aluminium body and high quality cells inside, so you can build your own battery really cheap, just swapping the BMS. But it is all for today. Thank you if you watched this, and if I am able somehow to hack or fix the handshake problem with the battery and the bike, I will post some videos about that thing. But if it's no luck, then there perhaps will no be new videos about this thingy. But thank you for watching and have a nice day.